Hello, welcome back to Carl's Place. I'm Carl, and today I'm going to show you how to do an old-fashioned new way of making potatoes. I'm going to show you how to make what is called fondant potatoes. I love saying that word, fondant. Fondant potatoes. Stick with me and I'll show you how. Okay, fondant potatoes. Now, I did a little bit of research trying to find out where it started, and obviously it's a French word, so it originated in France. I could not find a timeline as to when these started or when they first started making them. So I don't have a date, but I do know that it originated in France, and it was a high-end way of making potatoes. And fondant potato translates from French to melting potato. And I have made this once, and I have to say it really was kind of like the potato was melting when you were eating it. It's fantastic. Crispy on the outside. So the inside isn't even light and fluffy. It's ultra light and fluffy. It literally feels like it's just disappearing in your mouth. They're delicious. Now, they're fairly easy, but they're a little time consuming as far as the baking side of it. So it's a good 30 to 40 minutes in the oven. So this isn't something you would make every day. It's something you would probably make, to impress your significant other or your insignificant other or just yourself, whatever. Now the ingredients are so simple. What you need: couple of potatoes. I'm using good old-fashioned russet potatoes. I would stick with something that can hold up to the oven. But it didn't really specify what kind of potato, or they were different in every recipe that I researched. So just stick with the potato you like, basically. So I'm going to use russet potatoes. I'm going to have a whole stick of butter, half a cup of chicken stock of your choice. Whatever you like, you buy, you use. 1 clove of crushed garlic, and it's about a tablespoon of fresh thyme. You could use dried thyme, but don't. And of course, olive oil, salt and pepper. Nice prep. Peel your potatoes. Let me show you how to cut them. Okay, so for the fondant potatoes, like I said, I peeled just a regular russet potato. Now these are fairly thick, and each side has to be completely flat. So you want to take the ends off. Making a very flat surface. And I would cut the slices a good inch and a half. So you want them fairly thick. And I'm going to line the slices up on my plate here because my plate is about the circumference of my pan. So cut these up and fill the plate up.
Forget it.
All right, so I used it was a whole potato and 3/4, so almost 2 potatoes. And I tried to get them as uniform as possible. I don't know if you can see. So I'm going to put a little bit of salt and pepper on here. Flip them over. Okay, just salt and pepper. Okay, now we're going to move over to the stove, but before we start that part of it, go ahead and turn your oven on to 450 degrees. So it's a fairly hot oven. Let's move over to the stove and start frying on the top. Use whatever pan you prefer. Just make sure that you're able to use it on the stovetop and put it in the oven as well, because it's a 2-part process. You're going to fry up the potatoes here, and then you're going to finish them off in the oven. So go ahead and turn your heat on to put it on medium, somewhere between medium and medium high. And I'm going to put enough olive oil to cover the bottom. Make sure the potatoes are going to be able to get nice and brown. Okay, the oil's starting to heat up now. You can go ahead and put your potatoes in. Now what you want to do is leave them. You don't want to shuffle them around. You don't want to flip them. You want to leave them on the one side for at least 5 to 6 minutes. And now once you put the potatoes in, I cut up the stick of butter into just cubes, and I'm just throwing them in there and going to let it melt. And I'm just going to let the butter melt. You know, as the butter is melting, you want to start basting it over the top of the potatoes. Okay, you want to kind of move the butter around in the pan a little bit without touching the potatoes. Okay, it's been about 3 minutes, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add each fresh thyme and the garlic. Give that a little mix and baste that over the top of the potatoes. Okay, I don't know if you can see it, but the sides of the potatoes are starting to brown. And it's been 6 minutes, so I'm going to flip one of these, see what it looks like. Oh, nice. So flip these gently. And you want to baste this side as well. And you want to cook them on this side for about 5-6 minutes as well. I'm going to give them a little baste again. Whoop. And pretty much what happens is it turns into brown butter. So you're really cooking these in brown butter, which is delicious. Oh, these are beautiful. Okay, now you want to add your chicken broth. Give it a little stir. And go ahead and put it in your oven for about 25 minutes and then give it a check. Okay, it's been about 25 minutes. I'm going to give these one last little baste. See how nice and unbelievably brown they are? Okay, I'm going to leave them in, let me see. I'm going to leave them in maybe another 5 minutes. Back in the oven. Okay, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Let's go ahead and get these on a platter. Okay, we have fondant potatoes. Oh, let me see if I can tilt this without pouring them off the side. Look at that. So good. Now, what should have happened is it has a nice browned outside, and the inside is going to be very light and fluffy and airy, and also infused with the butter, which tastes like thyme and garlic. Fantastic. Let's give it a taste. I think I want a couple. Close up. One of these days I'll have a dual camera setup, but for now I have to wing it. Let's go ahead and taste. Oh, yeah. See that? Inside looks nice and fluffy. Still steaming. Let's cut it in half one more. It's a big piece. I'm going to burn my palate. It's like a potato that you've never had. There's almost like a caramelization that occurs on the potato that you don't normally get with like a French fry or a potato chip. And it really does just melt in your mouth. So much flavor, which is unusual for potatoes. Potatoes are kind of bland. I mean, I love me a good potato, but this is different. Mm. Mm. Both sides get nice and brown. Even the sides get nice and brown. And of course, when you're basting it, you're basting it with brown butter. Brown butter has a flavor that is all its own. It doesn't taste like butter. It tastes like toasted butter. So good. Crispy on the edges. I'm gonna try something. I'm gonna try just a little dab of sour cream. I don't think you're supposed to do this, but I love sour cream and potatoes. This could be a new thing. Potato. Fondant melting potatoes. Give it a try. That's it for today's video, guys. I hope you liked it. I hope you try this. If you do, please let me know. Let me know how it turned out. But if you did like today's video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you have subscribed, don't forget to hit the notification button so you don't miss any future videos from Carl's Place. Have a great day.